So when it comes to sales on YouTube, what I want to do quickly is I want to set like a really high level understanding of how YouTube's algorithms work. Because if we understand what YouTube's trying to do and we understand what YouTube's goals are, then it's easier for us to craft a content strategy that not only helps them meet their goals, but also helps us meet our goals, right? So they have, this is a very high level, but once we get, I want to explain this because once we get into the sales strategy part of this, I think it'll just like make, oh, I get it now, makes instant sense. So there's 4 main goals that YouTube has, and I'm going to go through these 4 goals pretty quickly to understand how growth and discovery on YouTube works from a pretty high level. The first, one of the things that they're looking for is they are looking for what videos do people start watching when they get here. And you can see that pretty clearly when you go to like the home page. If you're looking at your analytics, you look under traffic sources, you go to browse features, and right there it'll just tell you how much traffic are you getting from your home page. In other words, what videos and channels do people come back to YouTube looking for? Like what videos are like, I'm going back to YouTube, I want to watch this creator or watch this brand or whatever, and then they get sucked into this viewing session, right? So what pulls people into a viewing session, first of all? So what videos start the person's journey on YouTube? And then maybe you've heard of this thing called watch time. How much time do they spend watching the videos that are in front of them? So watch time is literally just the total accumulated amount of time that people have spent watching that video. And the more time people spend watching a video, the more valuable Google deems that video to be. And so they're like, wow, a lot of people are watching this video, they're spending a lot of time on it. That's one signal they look for to know how valuable this video is. Should we surface it to more people? And so they first like, what starts the viewing session? And then 2, it's like, what gets their attention and holds their attention, that so they spend time watching it. Number 3, then, it's like, okay, well, how much time do they spend on YouTube as a result of this video? So how does this increase the overall viewing session? This is a former client of ours, Dr. Mike, and I can't tell you the whole story, it'd be great, but for the sake of time, if you can see what he's doing, he's like, he's giving you, he's not saying goodbye, hope this was helpful, let me know what you think, smash any like button, subscribe, nothing like that. The only thing he's asking you to do is like giving you a pitch for this next video. He's now pointing to, you're giving a verbal pitch, trying to get people to click that next video and keep watching more, right? And so I can't give you his stats, but basically that was one of the things that really catapulted his channel, was intentionally getting people into the content, titles and thumbnails primarily, holding their attention, watch time with the content itself, and then getting them to watch more, okay? The 4th metric that YouTube is really evaluating is how does this content make somebody feel? Like, in other words, it's called satisfaction on YouTube. Now, how does an algorithm determine how someone feels about the content that they're watching? Well, it's not too complicated. They simply just ask. Maybe you've seen these pop up, especially on mobile. This is what it looks like expanded, but if you're just browsing the feed, they'll, like right below the video, there'll be a few different emojis, and you can just, they're like, hey, how do you feel about this video? And you tap the one and then it expands into this, and you can give it a more detailed rating. YouTube is collecting millions of these satisfaction surveys every day, and they're getting really, really good at identifying this profile of viewer rates this video, they feel this way about the video. This profile viewer feels differently. So let's surface this video to more people who share this type of viewing profile, right? So they're really, really, really focusing in on like what brings people here, what holds their attention, what keeps them watching more, and how does it make them feel at the end? Because YouTube got, this is a couple of years ago, they got really good at keeping people on YouTube for a really long time. But what ended up happening is many people were starting to fall into like conspiracy theory videos. And at the end of their, like, they might be there for 3 hours, but at the end of it, they just felt like a little yucky. And they didn't come back to YouTube for like another 2 or 3 weeks later, right? So YouTube is like, no, we don't want to sacrifice like the experience people have with our brand for just a longer viewing session. So all 4 of these things can be summarized as viewer signals. In other words, what YouTube is looking for is not what your metadata is. They're looking for, over time, how do people actually respond to this content? What are their responses? Are they engaging with it? Are they not? Are they watching it? Are they skipping it? Are they here for 2 seconds and then leaving? And so there's 2 different things that we have control over to determine how well our videos perform on YouTube. One of them is the metadata, which would be primarily at this point just title, because they don't really look at description. Tags don't matter anymore. Captions don't matter. Like, none of the metadata really matters, because so many people lied for so long, hoping to like trick the algorithm, that they're like, YouTube's like, we can't base our understanding of this video based on what people are telling us. So they are scanning it frame by frame while you're uploading it, and they are determining the roll, tilt, and pan of your head, what emotion is on your face, who is in there. They know what brand sunglasses you're wearing. If there's a mountain range behind you, they are geotagging where that video was likely shot. Like, they don't need any of your metadata anymore, right? So really, what metadata matters because people will click on it, because it sparks curiosity. It creates some tension. It creates some intrigue. That there's a cool question mark pops up above someone's head, and now they're like, oh, and then they'll click. But it's not because any of your keywords are in there, right? And then the second thing we have control over is the actual content itself, which is hopefully hooking people's attention, holding their attention, and getting them to want to take an action at the end, which, if you wanted to grow, one of those actions is to click and watch more, okay?